English with deck. Whoosh. Well, that's a fairly productive day so far, you know. Did a few classes this morning, did some prep work, did a little bit of what did I do? No, I did a lot of tidying up actually. The wife and kids went out for the day with my mother-in-law actually. So I was like, right, house to myself. You know, in the past I would have definitely been like, yes, house to myself. Let's relax, do nothing. Let's put the barbecue on, kind of thing. But no, 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 no. Deck is not that kind of man anymore. Oh no. I had the house to myself, and yet I still did a quick workout, followed by cleaning of the kitchen, cleaning the bathroom. What else? Cleaned the rice cooker, and then a few other bits of cleaning, and then made sure just to prepare, for dinner tonight. And then another class, then went for a lovely walk actually. I was going to go for a bowl of ramen. However, in this economy, you've got to be a bit more considerate about spending money, of course. So I was like, no, no, no. I'll be sensible, watching the pounds and whatnot. Don't want to add too many calories. I'm joking, I'm joking. Well, I'm not joking about in this economy we need to be careful. We should be careful and only spend on services which are, well, necessary. But of course, supporting local chains, especially food eateries, is an absolutely crucial um, pastime that we should try to partake in if possible, to support our friends, our neighbours, etc. But anyway, no, no, no. I did not avoid the ramen for that reason and the health reasons. No, mainly for the just for the fact that it is such a lovely day today. I was like, let's go for a walk. And then I walked past the ramen shop. I was like being drawn in by the aroma of the noodles being cooked. The gyoza sizzling. I could hear it across the street. I was like, oh, they were like, Dek, eat me, eat me, eat me. I was really tempted. But no, 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 I was a strong, resilient person. I held fast to my morals, continued on my walk, and it was lovely. I went up and then I went over the hill, went up a bigger hill, not quite a mountain, but up a big hill. Then dropped down back into my area, my neighbourhood, and strolled along the beach back home. And when I got home, I had a lovely lunch of last night's meatball with some leftover rice, actually, and a salad. Got that. So it was definitely healthier. I did save a few yen. However, by the time you factor in the cost of making it and buying the original thing, so it's probably not so different. But definitely, it was lovely having that walk. And to top it all off, I realised when I got home, you'll never guess what, I had actually left my wallet at home. I could have obviously done electric money, paid with my phone, but I think that was a sign, don't you? Can you imagine if my phone had died and I had gone for the ramen anyway, and then I've eaten my ramen, got the second helping of noodles. That's free to be fair, but anyway, and then got a plate of gyoza. Maybe got a nice cold sparkling water or similar. And then I go to pay. I'm like, thank you for the food. It was beautiful. Thank you. Said my little quick greeting to the master and whatnot. Master, by the way, in Japan, they quite often call the head of a ramen shop or an izakaya or something like that a master. Just said hello to them, those guys. They know my face. And then anyway, if I'd have gotten to the register and then that will be blah 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 yen, I'll be like, oh crap! Oh, oh, did that pick up on the recording? If you heard the ding ding ding, it was my disaster alert on my phone, and it says there has just been an earthquake. That's why I was like, oh, but it is nowhere near here. Actually, it's in Nagano. Okay, I hope everyone is okay over there. If it causes any issues, um, okay. Where was I? Yes. Anyway, forgot my wallet, so I saved face there by continuing my walk. And, it did get me thinking, actually, because, you know, when you go shopping for your food, how do you do it? What kind of shopper are you? Are you a spontaneous shopper? A daily shopper? A weekly shopper? A fortnightly shopper, maybe, if you live fairly remotely? What kind of shopper are you? You know, I do think that shopping habits are really important. Shopping with a plan versus no plan. Impulse buying. Routine. You know, I won't lie, I'm not the best at this, but I do think going shopping with a list is absolutely essential. If I go shopping for my weekly shop, I do a weekly shop as well, generally. If I do my weekly shop with no list, I buy absolute crap. I buy so much stuff that I do not need. And apart from the fact that it costs way more than I wanted to spend, and I buy stuff I don't need. So, just checking what's in the house beforehand really can save you a few quid. And, sometimes I will just go spontaneously. Don't get me wrong. But I really tried to think, okay, I haven't checked at home, so I will go later or tomorrow, once I've checked. And more often than not, when I think spontaneously, oh, I need this, blah, blah, but I check at home, turns out I actually have it at home. So, yeah, there's definitely that to it. And, for me, I do find that if there's a really large amount of food in the house, me and the family have a tendency just to eat a bit more than we would normally. Not as in we try to stretch it out particularly, not as in we gorge ourselves, we eat too much particularly, but I think there is that habit, you see more, so you use a little more. Let's say you're cooking your veggies, you're cooking your soup, and then you look in the vegetable area in your house, and there's like loads of potatoes, loads of carrots, onions, mushrooms, la di da di da. So instead of using 2 potatoes, you might use 3. Instead of using half an onion, you use 1 kind of deal. Whereas if you've got half the amount than what I just described, you probably would use 1 carrot and would use 2 potatoes, not 3. That's what I mean. So I really think that really planning your shop is it doesn't have to be only those things, but really trying to coordinate your shop is essential. For example, if we buy meat and stuff, we tend to go on a Tuesday simply because that's the day that our local supermarket has special offers on, so you can get more meat for your money. And yeah, so that's what I'm meaning, planning your shopping trip. Now, as always, just to finish today off, I do have a couple of phrases which you can absolutely use when talking about doing your food shopping. Okay, now number 1, I just grab whatever I need. Very impulse related. I just grab whatever I need. And number 2, I ended up buying more than I planned. No plan right there, right? I ended up buying more than I planned. Number 3, it adds up quickly. Oh. And number 4, I try. I'm so sorry. I try to stick to a list, and there's a plan. I try to stick to a list. And just like the other day, I will throw these 4 phrases into a very much improvised little monologue for you guys. Okay, I just got whatever I need. I ended up buying more than I planned. It adds up quickly. I tried to stick to a list. So, here we go. So, when I go shopping, I just grab whatever I need. I don't really go with a plan. However, I have noticed recently I end up buying way more than I planned to. And the shopping bill adds up so quickly. I think next time I'll try and stick to a list. There you go, guys. And as always, feel free to listen to this episode and all the others as many times as you can tolerate. Okay, guys. Thanks for coming as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now. Have a great day.